I found out that my drug addict coworker has been breaking into my car to get high for months. I have nothing against people who have substance abuse issues, but I never thought I would be so involved in somebody's personal battle with addiction without even knowing it. I work as an overnight stalker at a big chain store. It's hard work and I honestly hate being at my job. It's bad. So, I started the awful habit of working clean through my break so that I could get the hours off at the end of my shift and head home early. This really annoys my managers, but it's technically allowed, so I almost never take breaks while I'm at work. I have one other coworker, let's call him Dave. Dave has always been a basket case, and always looks sort of sickly. I assumed after working with him a couple of times that he definitely was fighting a battle with hard drugs. I swear, there were some points where I was sure that I saw Dave hunched over while working, seconds from passing out on the floor. When I saw Dave like that, I would just say whatever, he's grown and is really none of my business. It ended up turning out to be very much my business. It all happened one afternoon when I decided to take a break for the first time in a blue moon. I made a cup of ramen and went to retrieve my keys out of my bag in my locker so I could go eat in my car. I was panicked when I realized that my keys were not in my bag at all, so I headed out to my car to see if I had maybe left them inside. That's when I walked up to my car and saw Dave completely passed out in the back seat with a crack pipe sitting in his lap. I was pissed and felt sort of violated. I started knocking on the window very hard and it took him forever to wake up and see me, and then finally realize what was actually happening. I tried to drag him out of my car by his collar, but he was too messed up to even stand on his own 2 feet. I've seen Dave looking on unwell at work before, but this was something else. The guy looked completely out of it, and his skin looked sort of gray, I realized while I was looking at him up close. I went back inside and left Dave on the ground next to my car, mumbling incoherently. One of my managers came out to check out the situation, and she ended up calling an ambulance for him. I remember thinking how ironic it was that we were calling an ambulance for someone who had basically broken into my car. After Dave went to the hospital and ended up getting treated, I found out that he had been taking my keys out of my unlocked locker every time we worked together and taking a nap in the back of my car. He had been able to do this for months since I literally never took a break, and so he had lots of time to hang out in my car, and steal and return my keys without me ever noticing. After I learned about what had been going on, it made a lot of sense. I often found things moved around in my car, and it had a lingering smell of bow that was obviously from Dave. I still feel upset that my private space and vehicle were invaded like that, but at the end of the day, I just feel so bad for Dave. I don't want to make his life any worse. If I were to press charges against him, he would lose his job and be totally ruined, and might even try to end his life with drugs. I just didn't want that weight on my shoulders, so I decided to drop the whole thing. I still work with Dave to this day, and we actually make jokes about it all the time.